whole bunch, a whole bunch of different types of things that you actually could see on there, different numbers, different things, different ways of doing stuff and everything else. That, but there's one thing that I have found through the years of using this is that we have to use our own code first. And so that's the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to come up and figure out what our own code is. Okay. And each one of us have a code and it changes. It does change as we change. And so our codes change. So I want you guys to take your birthday, your full birthday, you know, mine's 6/2/1962, you know, add them all up and then reduce it down to one number, that which is an 8, which is also my life path number, okay? Then I want to take your height. How high are you right now? You know, I'm 6'2", so that's another 8. So my code so far is 8, 8. And then we're going to take our weight. And my weight is an 8. I'm not going to tell you how much it is, but it's an 8. So my code for me right now is 888. Okay. So that's, and which is a very beautiful number, having triple numbers of 8s, you know, being as above as below. So no, you don't have to share your height and weight or your age, even that. Just figure out your code, and we're going to talk about that. So I'm going to give you guys a second to figure it out and see where you're at with your code.
May I say something? No offense. I learned a long time ago at Stanford that they said after you're 40, you're going to lose 2 inches in height. And so I'm now 70 something. And when I was at a dentist that had the measuring thing, I said, would you please adjust it for my height? And sure enough, I was 2 inches shorter. And I said something to the dentist that I was at, and he said he was also. So just keep it in mind.
Yeah, I haven't changed since I was 20 years old.
So when I'm still
6'2" in height.
So when you do your height, do you turn that into inches?
So like I'm 6'2". So 6 and 2 is 8.
Oh, okay.
So it's just an 8. It's a number. There's no inches, no feet, or anything else in that. It's just the number. Yeah, I also was told when I was playing football that in weights, when we do weights, that it would compact us and make us shorter also. It didn't, nothing made me shorter.
So if your weight is changing, if you're gaining weight or losing weight, your numbers will change?
Absolutely.
Interesting. Okay.
Yep. As when we plateau at something, so when we stay at this normal, that's a balance, okay? And that means our weight too is a balance. So if we plateau and say that this is our weight and we stay at that weight for a long time, that it is. Yeah, that's a balance that we're at. So it really depends on what our code is for that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yep. And who here has had in fluctuation weight a lot? Everybody raise your hand if you have. I'm in the process of losing. So yes, I'm having fluctuation, but I hit a plateau where for almost a year, I would not gain or lose any weight. I stayed the exact same. So, but yeah, now I'm in the downside of losing. So, which is exciting for me. So yeah, it's changing. And as we change and let go of weight and let go of things, we're going to change that too. All right.
So do we have these numbers together or just keep?
No, there's just going to be 3 numbers. And that's going to be your code. Okay. So let's start with Sharon. What is your code number, dear?
695.
There should be 3 numbers.
695.
Oh, 695. Yes. Sorry, didn't hear that part. Wow, that's a really good number. Okay.
Oh, good.
6 and 9s are really good. 6 and 9s are really good numbers, and I'll explain it. Okay. 695. All right, Norma, what's your numbers?
I'm 215.
215?
Yes.
215. Okay. Huh. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Teresa, what's your numbers?
What'd you say?
Teresa.
Okay. And on the year, you add up all four numbers, right?
Yes. Yep.
16, 16, 9.
You got to make it down to individual. So 16 would be 7. Okay.
7, 7, 9.
So you're 779. Wow.
What's that?
I don't
We'll
know,
talk
but
about it.
apparently I only got the scary one.
Yeah.
Everyone else is cool.
We might mute Norma, so she's kind of oddball so far. Joyce, what's your numbers, hon?
Come on, Joyce.
885.
Nice. Good for you. Michelle?
899.
899? Oh,
And that
Dora.
last number is going to move.
Dora is, so Dora, you have to, if you put on 1161, so it's actually probably 261, right? Because we got to break them all down. It's not numerology. So it'd be 261. Okay. Good. And who we missing here?
Kelly?
Kelly.
Hi, 888.
You're 888 also?
Yes, I am.
Oh my gosh, Kelly, that's awesome. You guys are awesome. I love this. So let's talk a little bit about it. So 3, 6, and 9s in your, if that's in your code, okay? 3, 6, and 9s are the numbers of life, okay? So it's Tesla's idealism that you're able to create energy and be able to create a lot of things. So if you have a 3, 6, or 9 in your coding, it means that you are able to create a lot of things, okay? So if you have double numbers such as 8s or 9s, or like, I mean, we have 88, 99, 888, and 888. It means that these numbers, duality numbers, like 8 is above as below, so it's also about being able to manifest and create. Well, that means it's be able to manifest or create good or bad. So you can be very happy, but yet be very sad. That's the creation of that. 9s are about endings. So this idea that you have more 9s in your life, like double 9s, that means that your 10 at this point are ending into a process and beginning a new process. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So yes, and one number can change, and as the number can change, that will change your thought process and who you are and everything else in that. Now you can actually take these numbers and rebalance yourself in that. So the idea of going into a Gaussian position and saying your numbers over and over and over are drawing your numbers above your head, 8, 8, 8, and then going to a Gaussian number and feeling yourself be balanced. Numbers are sequences of different things that happen within us and around us. And it's kind of interesting how this all came about. And I'm really fascinated about this. So Norma, you being 215, okay? So let's talk about Norma a little bit. We like to talk about Norma. So, Norma.
Give it to me, Rod.
Okay. So it's how you figure it out, okay? So there's no sequences of you have to have your birthday first or your weight first or whatever first. There's no sequence to it. You just pick those numbers in random order, how you see it. And then, so your 215, what's your 2, honey? Is that your height, weight?
The 2 is my birth date.
So that's your path number, okay? The 1 is?
The 1 is my height.
Okay. And the 5?
The 5 is my weight.
Okay. So since we're looking at Norma's because she didn't have any 9s or 3s in it, and so she's a 215. So let's look at the duality, okay? 2 is a duality, okay? So she began it with a duality, meaning support, needing support, okay?
Needing support? Okay.
Yep, needing support. And then you added the 1 in the middle, okay? That's how you did it. It does no sequence. You can do however you're guided, whatever else there. But you added the number 1, which is new beginnings. So the thought process is support, need new beginnings, and then your 5 is change. So meaning that you're heading out for a change. You are looking for a change in your life. This is your code where you're at right now. Okay?
Mhm.
Duality, new beginnings, you're going to make some changes in your life. Okay?
Very cool.
Yeah, it is. And it's, of course, your daughter's leaving for college and things like that. There's going to be empty house syndrome. You got a little bunch of changes in your life already. Okay? So let's talk about the duality of 7s. Okay, since who had 779? Who was that had that?
I did.
Okay, Teresa. So that having the first 2 numbers in a duality of angels. Okay, so meaning that you have lots of guides and angels around you, and that having the first 2 numbers match like that, meaning you need to listen to your guides more often. Okay, that's exactly what it means. And then ending with a 9, meaning you have a lot of endings coming also, which has changed for you too, but it's in the spiritual aspect. All right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. 695, I really like that. And I think that was Sharon, right? Sharon, you had 695? So
Yes.
695, so 6s is about love, okay? That's 6 is love, okay? 9 is about endings, okay? But since it's in the middle, it kind of takes on another role, okay? Since it's a 9 in the center, and then it takes on the role of everything and nothing at all, okay? Because that's what 9s are. They're all and nothing. And that's the end. And it's endings of everything. We are 9. We are 9. Does that make sense? So in your aspect of that, so we take Tesla's idea of 6 and 9s and 3, 6 and 9s being the ultimate numbers, okay? The codes of all of that means that you can manifest whatever you want. But then you have a 5 at the end.
Right.
You can change things on a whim. So your code right now, the way you're set up is directional. And you have been changing your direction and not really sure. You're trying this, you're trying that, and you're doing different things. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. But that means you're going somewhere and you can manifest whatever you want and just focus on it.
Cool.
Is that cool?
Yeah, that's good.
Yep. Yeah. Let's see. 261. Who's that? Who was 261?
Laura.
Oh, that was Dora. Yeah, thank you. I see that she typed me. That. So another 2, which is duality, 6 is love, and 1 is new. So you got a new love coming, honey. That's your code. Who knows what it is? Could be somebody coming into your life. It could be a love for yourself. Could be something new that's coming in. But it's a duality of love that's coming in. Oh, that's good news. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Yep. And Joyce, what was yours?
885.
Oh yeah, 885. So that's another one with the 5 at the end. Okay. 8 as above is below, so but the center 8 is within, without. Okay. So what you're feeling within, you're actually now putting out. So you're actually speaking a little bit more than what you normally spoke, and you're speaking out a little bit more. But the 8 at the beginning is about as above as below. So you're really following the conscious path. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But the 5 at the end, okay? Change. You got some changes coming in your life. You want to make some changes, And because of the 8s at the beginning, and that it's going to be a spiritual change that you're changing, okay? Some spiritual thoughts and ideas and everything else. Now, spiritual is such a vast and weird way of saying something, okay? It can be anything that is a way of life, not a belief system, but a way of life, the way that you're going to create and do what you want and think about life. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Michelle, did we already do you? What number were you, Michelle?
I'm 899.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yes. Yes.
Really ending
So
with
we'll
this,
just
yeah.
say, good luck, honey. So,
Up yours.
so 8 at the beginning again, as above is below, right? So, yeah, there's some changes in your life because the duality of 9s of endings mean it's not you're giving up on stuff. You're just starting to look at things differently. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because especially in the spiritual aspect of that, you're starting to see things differently, as in going, why would that person think that way? I don't get it. And you're not judgmental or judging, you're just seeing things the way they're supposed to be right now, like in a different type of awakening. And you're starting to go, okay, I'm kind of done with this, and I'm kind of done with this. I have this I want to do. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good.
I'm living with relatives, and I'm planning where I want to be next. And I was a military kid. I moved all the time. So it
Right.
means 180 degrees tomorrow. Only it won't be tomorrow, but in the near future.
Right.
Thank you.
And that's what the 9s are for. So you do know that it's coming very closely if you're at 9s, 899. That means that you're really at that point where you're just going to jump. Good for you, honey. So my favorite number, 888, that was Kelly, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yay! Kelly,
Yay.
Kelly. You're such a lucky person.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you're also such a other person.
Yes.
So you're like me, okay? So it's like a lot of goodness will come, and you're happy, exciting, and blessed and everything else and that, and all of a sudden you look over there, it's like, what's that? And it's something else coming into your picture, and you're going, oh no. And it takes you away from your blessings, but then yet you come right back. And so there's a lot of bouncing back and forth constantly. You know how to make money, you know how to do things, you know how to create things. You're a very creative person that sometimes you get stuck with that creation, okay? And sometimes you don't move forward with your creativity. And that's what these 8s are, is everything's above is below, inside and out. So remember, because of all the 8s you have, when you look at somebody, you're not looking at them as a physical being. You're looking at them from the inside out, not the outside in.
Yeah.
So you're different, okay? So just remember that not everybody thinks and acts like you do or feels like you do.
Yes, we've had this discussion before.
We have?
We have. It's
I
been a
don't
year
even know
ago,
who
but
you
yes.
are. I can't see a
I'll show
picture
my
of you.
camera. I'll show my camera briefly, but then I'm going to turn it off. Okay? Just because
Okay.
my sensitivities.
Okay.
Hold on.
Hold on. Oh my gosh, I know who you are.
Yes.
I don't ever go by names, honey. Sorry.
I know. No problem. Don't worry about it. That's
Now
all.
I know who you are. Yes.
Yes.
Now, yes, I know we've had this conversation before.
Yes.
So yes,
Absolutely.
that's interesting how the numbers have proven what I've been telling you, right?
Yes, they did. Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. So what can we do with these numbers, guys? Do you guys have any clue? And thank you, Kelly, for that.
You're welcome.
We can
do you
only
guys know
change
what
our
you
weight.
can do with these? Okay, so the nice thing about this is knowing that we have a code for ourselves, and every once in a while we recheck the code or whatever else than that, but it's a rebalancing code. It puts us back into balance then. And the thing is that we say the numbers, you know, like mine is 8, 8, 8. And if you say those numbers and feel what those numbers do to you, okay? So I want everybody just to close their eyes, go into a gaucho position, and I want you guys to say those numbers, okay? To your numbers, not mine, your numbers, and to yourself. And I want you to feel where you're feeling it. We'll talk about that in a second of where you're feeling that. When you're done, you can open your eyes. Say at least 3 times, you know, over and over, 3 times, at least, to get a feel. All right, so now remember where you feel it, okay? And the first person popped up is Adora. She typed, she felt it in her heart center, okay? And Kelly, where'd you feel it at?
In my gut.
In your gut, okay. Sharon,
Solar plexus?
solar plexus. Norma,
Crown.
crown. Teresa,
Upper chest.
upper chest. Like heart area, chakra, heart area, or up a little higher in the throat.
Higher, more like throat.
Okay, all right, that makes sense with you. Joyce? Oh, you're off, honey. You're muted. Sorry. There you go. Asked to unmute. There you go.
There we go.
Right. That's good.
I don't know about this, but I felt the 8s in my crown and the 5 in my heart. So
That's pretty good. Yes, absolutely. So now that I screwed this whole thing up, there you go. There you go. Where were we? Michelle.
I felt it right behind my belly button.
Okay. Oh, I see. You said stomach. Okay. Yeah. Okay. See, Norma, did I ask you, hun?
Yes, crown. Mine was a
Crown, right? Did I ask everybody? Did I get it? Everybody? I screwed the whole picture thing up, so I lost count here. So it's interesting. So if you guys start thinking where you felt it at and think of that's your code and see if the numbers match with that. Now, which was Norma's was 261 about duality, love, and new beginnings, and that she's feeling it in her crown. So now she's understanding that it's starting to come over her. Does that make sense?
Mine was 215 was my number, so it's new beginnings,
Oh,
change.
215. Yeah. 215. Yeah. Yeah. Duality,
Oh,
new
yeah.
beginnings, and endings. Yes. Yes. Okay. That would make sense too.
That makes sense.
Yep. Oh,
Yep.
261 was Doris. That's right. And she felt that in her heart center. So remember that is if I want you, when you these numbers, and this is why we're doing this little practice at the beginning, because these numbers have to fill something. You have to fill it, these numbers. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Sharon, do you use numbers? Do you look at numbers differently every day? Do you use numbers, numerology, or anything like that in your life?
I've done like the destiny cards. That's pretty much, you know, as far as numbers are how they've entered. That's about it.
Okay.
I don't use them in my practice.
Gotcha. Norma, do you use numbers?
No,
Nope.
not yet.
Teresa, do you use numbers?
Not like in any formal way. I pay attention to them.
You pay attention? Because I think you are supposed to watch for signs, right? That's one of your things that you're supposed to be doing, and numbers is a sign. Okay. Joyce, do you use it?
I can't say I use numbers, but I have a tendency to count to myself. There's something about it that is relaxing. I don't know if that's a certain sign. I think there's a name for that when you count.
Yep.
So I don't do it all the time. I do it occasionally.
Right. Do you use sheep with it when you count? I'm just kidding.
No.
Joking.
It may
Yes,
be
no-
music to her ears.
What was that?
It
Who's-
may be music to her ears.
Yes,
I
exactly.
think it to me it is rhythm is really important to me, dance and music, and to me counting. There's something about a rhythm and dancing that calms me, and so I think it's all related.
Yep. No, you're absolutely correct. You know, 1, 2, 3 step, 1, 2, 3 step. You know,
5, 6,
there's
7, 8.
always a rhythm to it. You know, everything has a numerology rhythm, and I think that's perfect for you, hon. It is that. Thank you, Michelle. Do you use that?
I do, but not in healing.
Okay.
I just, for a while, I used to use Doreen Virtue's angel numbers because I didn't just see repetitive numbers. I would see like 272. And so
Right.
I'd get home, look it up, and it always made me feel better. So I like numbers.
Okay. So you see them as signs also, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yep. Good. I see that. Doris says that she doesn't use numbers. Kelly, you use numbers?
Yes, I'm an accountant.
I forgot. That's right. You are.
Yeah.
Yep. So there is a numerology aspect for that also. That the numbers are very soothing. It's interesting
Yes.
is I have clients that are accountants, and they think that's one of the best calming, soothing things that you can find is just by looking at numbers. I am not. I love math. I've always loved math. I've always been like, see a number and I know exactly what the number is. But if you put and start adding letters to math, I can't do letters with math because that doesn't make any sense to me. So it's the numerology of everything that. So if you guys want to learn more about, pick up some Tesla's numerology books, is like Tesla with 369s and that. Start looking up what Tesla had to say about 3 6s and 9s, because there's a whole mathematical equation thing about how it can add into and everything else. And those 3 6 9s are those very specific numbers. And he believes that 3 6 and 9 are the numbers of the secret of the world. Okay. So it's just something that you guys need to look at, and then because he's the idea about taking matter and mass out of something and, creating something out of it. And he was able to pull, we wouldn't have wireless anything right now if it wasn't for Tesla. So just imagine what he has come with that. So some of his studies are pretty cool. Yeah. So we're going to go to let's set here. Okay, can everybody see that?
Yes.
All right, good. So the idea of this is reikidoc.blogspot.com, okay? And there's a lot of information on that website, okay? I would suggest you guys go into that, and they have a lot of information. Now, this is about doctors that got together and figured out what numerology did, and they would chant numerologies, they'd chant numbers and everything else in that. So they put together this program to try to explain how it can be used. And one of the ways, both ways of healing, and this is how they talk about it, okay, is divine healing codes. The divine healing codes are undergoing an update version. They keep adding and adding and adding to it, which is really awesome in that. And they said the divine healing codes were first given in 2014 from Archangel Raphael. They are maintained by this guy that put it out there, and he's the keeper of the codes, and because he has the highest medical training, so that's why he's the keeper of the codes. Now, keeper of codes doesn't mean that he keeps them and hangs on to them. It means he shares them. And, this has been, like I said, it's been around for 6 years and that, but it was even before that, there was a numbers codes that would come with, that came with it. Greg Braden actually has written talking about the codes of life and different codes and that. And there's a numerous codes that come from all the way to Brazil, where Brazilians would actually chant numbers and be able to bring like a large tumor and chant these numbers until the tumor would actually shrink, and then they'd pull it out. And it's the idea that numbers, when we talk about numbers, it activates a different part of our brain, and it creates a different part of the energy. So the thing which is really cool about this is that each number was created for a reason. I mean, if you go all the way back, it's like, who decided what numbers what? You know, who decided that's one cow and not two cows, right? And where did this all come from? Is that it had to be brought from somewhere. And so this is interesting, is that to break that code of counting and where it comes from and all this other stuff, it really just, it brings it all together. So a best way, like binary code is an understandable universal energy. You know, binary code has codes to it. Hexadecimal codes, which is once you get a binary code, you turn it to a hexadecimal and it becomes a letter. Okay. That's a whole nother thing, but it does. So your hexadecimal code is like your keyboard. It actually, when you click on it, turns into a hexadecimal code, which then turns into a binary code, which then tells the computer what to do. This is exactly basically the same thing as we're typing that code into us to get what we need from ourselves. Does that make sense, everybody? Okay, right now all I can see is Norma on there, so on the strip there, I don't know why. It just pops up with Norma. So so there's different ways of doing this, and there's the original way and the alternative similar way. Each, you know, they're going to describe each how to do it below in that. So now imagine having numbers, and we're just going to do that, just sequential numbers, okay? But how they do on the first way that they explain it is the Divine Mother, our Archangel Raphael, which is always unchanging, okay? So you have to start be in that frame of mind, okay? And it's a frame of mind of spirituality and being open to receive information from the mother, from whoever you receive it from. That's basically what they're talking about. Then the collective consciousness of all beings present on earth is which constantly and being risen constantly. So we have to rise our energy, and we have to make that energy come up. So the idea thought process now is we have to start bringing that energy higher and start expanding ourselves and expanding the energy, okay? And then the energy field of one using the codes, which is a variable, okay? Now, if you understand that the energy code of one using the codes is your variable. So that's meaning you're the variable, you're the constant, you're the thing that creates it. We're the vessel. We're the ones that bring in all this information and everything else. So we have to be open to that. Does that make sense to everybody so far?
Yes.
Okay, good. Like I said, all I can see is Norma. So if somebody says no, say it out loud. Okay. So these codes are safe to use on Earth, and two additional ones to carry caution. And you know, there's some things that they're very serious about this, because there are some things that these numbers, if you open yourself up to and you open really deep into, you're not ready for it, they believe it's going to take you away from the idealism, and you're going to heal something that doesn't need to be healed. And that's one thing you have to remember, and that is you don't fix something that's not broken. Does that make sense? So if you're asking the universe to fix something that's not broken, what's going to happen is a rift is going to be created. It's just like everything has to be for the good of all. So when you're asking for help or you're asking for these different things, it has to be for the good of all, okay? So search the codes using your heart center intuition. So the thing is I sent you the manual. You're going to search through there, and using your intuition, know which one to pick out, okay? And so it's like, I picked this one, okay? 7, 8, 7894825. Okay. So that's the number I picked out of there, which is a cardiovascular function. So it's about working on the heart. Okay. Then you write it in a format of, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So two numbers, three numbers. Okay. So, and then space it in that way. Okay. And you can write it on your skin, if the code, it's different formats of spaces, just make sure you are using the spaces, because remember that's in a binary code or in hexadecimal code, so that we have to have that space. It cannot be run on numbers, and it goes 2 digits, 3 digits. Okay. Write the code again in the air, just hovering above the skin where you have it written. So it's just like I'm going to write it again over my heart, and then 78, 94, 825. And I'm going to place that into my heart and just fill it. Okay. Now it says to repeat this once daily, as often as guided by your intuition. Then do as many times as you feel it's needed. Just do it until you don't feel the need for it anymore. That's how I always believe it. You're going to feel a change, and just like feeling a change of our own personal code of balancing ourselves. And that's the first thing I would do, is balance ourselves first of all with our own personal code, then go through this code book, find what code works for you, and then use that code. And as you use that code, use it and bring it into you so that you're actually feeling that code. So let's go with the actual manual. Okay. Popped up the same one. There it is. So the actual manual here, okay, for some people that haven't downloaded the manual, this is what they're talking about as the code. Okay. So you did go through here and you write the code out. Okay. So like I said, I picked, 78, 94, 825. My blood pressure has gone up. I mean, I've been exercising more and losing weight. So my blood pressure has gone up a little bit, and it's going to come stable back down, which is okay. But I'm working on my heart on that aspect. Okay. And then I picked for high blood pressure, 8863. I picked all these numbers out. And so what I'm doing now is I'm picking numbers out and put them on a card, and then I'm writing on the back here what it's for in that, and then I place it on the area. Now this is the same thing I do sometimes when I work on clients, is I'll pick something out of there, and I will actually write it and put it on them and let them take it home with them. It depending on the code, what it is, or anything else, or have them write it. And I have them say it in their morning prayers and their night prayers. Which is, something that I have found works just as well. Just like Reiki, it's the same thing. It's universal energy, and we're using universal energy. So this is interesting. So I want you guys that have the manual now. Who doesn't have the manual?
I haven't got it downloaded.
You got it downloaded? Can you see it? Can everybody see their manual?
I don't have it downloaded.
Oh, you don't have download. So
but I can go do that. I'll go work on that.
Huh? No. I'll have it up here, okay? And I'm going to scroll slowly. And I want everybody to intuitively pick the numbers, okay? So I want you to write it down, and I want you to write what it is for, okay? And so I'm going to scroll down.
So do you want us to look at the numbers or the physical problem?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you want us to look at the numbers or the physical problem?
Intuitively, does that mean there's a physical problem? So you're looking intuitively, not actually at a physical problem. You're not looking at the number. You're just intuitively grabbing what you think it is going to be. Does that make sense, Teresa?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it going to be intuitive for yourself or for someone else?
It can be. You're going to,
Okay.
That's up to you. Okay.
Okay.
Remember, this is all about intuition. Okay. This is about our intuition, how we're going to download it. If you're looking for a number for somebody else, I'm going to say, I'm sorry, because that means you're not thinking about yourself right now.
Okay. Okay.
And I want you to be thinking of yourself. But yes, sometimes it does. They'll pop up and I'll do it for my clients. But that's because they're my clients, not for, you know, I'd use these numbers for myself too. But today is about yourself. Okay. Does that make sense? Norma?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to scroll slowly through here. You guys just pick something out, write the numbers down, and kind of write the symptoms if you want to, or in that, and kind of just a little synopsis of why you picked it. Okay. And then we're going to talk about it. All right.
Okay.
Here we go. Oops, went too fast. Sorry. Okay, moving on. It's all right to move on.
Yes.
Okay. That went fast. All right. Does everybody have a number?
No,
Pick
Is it you
one.
haven't picked a number yet?
no.
Be
Okay.
careful. Some of them are like 12 numbers long. There's some that have 12 extra numbers.
Yes, there is. Remember, we talked a little bit about the bold ones. Those are very powerful ones.
Yes, sir. Oh my God.
Yep.
Ugh.
All right. So we're going to keep going. Stick with the first number that comes to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Teresa, you have one?
No.
Okay, we're gonna end right here.
Scratch me.
Huh?
You know, I wrote down something I could go with in case I didn't get
Yes,
anything.
yes.
But you
We're
could
gonna, 'cause
make
we're gonna
through
stop
it.
right here for now, okay?
Okay.
All right. Everybody has one? Everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, good. Kelly, you have one? I didn't.
Yes, I have one.
Okay, good. Good. So since you're still on, Kelly, tell us you don't have to say what the symptoms are, but tell us the numbers.
2365189.
Okay. I can
And
feel that when you say that.
yeah.
Can you feel that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did anybody else feel that when she said it? Say it again, Kelly. And everybody just feel.
2365189.
Wow. That's a powerful number, honey.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, I can feel that. Everybody else feel that too?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good. Thank you, Kelly.
Welcome.
Dora, what were your numbers? I don't know. Can anybody see Dora's numbers and when she writes it, she types down there?
4434131.
Yeah, you feel that? That's a good one too for her. Wow. Okay. Sharon, what's yours, hon?
248249625.
How's that make you feel?
A little anxious.
I got a little bit of anxiety with that one myself.
It's like, yeah.
Wow.
And
Breathe through it, honey.
Yeah.
So do me a favor. Now say your code numbers, yours to balance you, okay? Say yours and then say that number, okay?
Okay. Okay. Where am I? Okay. Okay, so I'm still feeling a little anxious because my code numbers are that I can manifest anything that I want. And so now I'm asking for the motivation to be motivated to do that. And it's kind of like, like okay.
It's instantaneously, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's a lot.
Yep, there's a lot of this is why they said you have to be careful how you use it and everything else now, because when you open yourself up to this, you'll never forget it. I mean, you'll be driving on a billboard, you'll see a phone number and you'll go, because it's going to just grab you. And that numbers will do that. I use numbers for signs all the time. And I will ask a question and I will see like the sign on the license plate or whatever else and that. And I love stuff like that. So absolutely.
Yeah,
Good
I
job,
love
Sharon.
signs.
Huh?
Okay, thank you.
No. I'm
I
sorry.
said, yeah, I said I love signs also. You know,
Yep.
when you get those signs, then
Yep.
it's great.
Yep. Practice this for a while, honey. And not every, I mean, like I said, not all the time, but just all it needs is once. And I always tell my clients do one in the morning and one at night. Okay.
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 Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, sweetie. Norma.
2536397.
How's that make you feel?
A little uneasy, relieved. I'm just getting a whole bunch of emotions right now.
It will. It's going to pull that out.
Uh-huh.
So just breathe through it and go back to your numbers, yep. Bring yourself back into the center. Perfect.
Yeah, that was better. That's better.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, dear. Teresa, what were your numbers that you picked?
89,
Okay.
87, 438.
Huh. Say it one more time, hon.
89,
Okay.
87, 438.
I'm feeling that deep. Where are you feeling that at?
In my head.
In your head? Like right behind your ear area? Yeah. So I'm saying pineal, pituitary. It's deep. That's where I'm feeling it and everything else. And it kind of gives me a headache a little bit when you say it. So center yourself and say it again, please. Using your code.
Okay.
That was good. I felt that change. Good job. Yay. You feel better? You seem a little calmer, honey.
Yep.
Good. Yep. Yep. Good for you, honey. Joyce, what was your number, hon?
2211377.
Of course you'd pick that one. 221177. Yep. How does that make you feel?
I don't know. I feel kind of happy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, I don't know if anybody else, when she said those numbers, it's kind of like there's joy in there, in those numbers, right? 2211, you know, there seems to be joy in those numbers. In that.
Like a little skip.
Exactly.
Yep.
So, you know, you feel that, right? So that you know that there's a change in that number for you, correct?
Yep.
So I'm just going to tell you that maybe you need to come a little bit more playful, honey. Let the playfulness come out a little bit more. Not let things so serious. Have fun with stuff. So center yourself and say those numbers again, honey, so using your code and then that code. Okay?
885 and then 2211377.
Perfect. A lot of duality numbers in there, honey. I want you to kind of look at that, why there's so many duality numbers. Support, other half, something like that. But that feels good with your, yes, 885 is your number, right?
Mhm.
So 885 and then centering yourself and then going into it. It feels good. Feels good for me too, Joyce. Good job.
Thank you.
Michelle, what you got there?
Oh, I have the same thing, 2211,377.
I wonder why.
Hey, I know what it's for. Do you want to know what it's for?
Yeah, tell me, please.
Memory, improved memory.
Oh, I forgot.
But I like numbers like that.
Right.
It doesn't mean
So-
I'm not good with the other codes. It just meant that one really, I liked it.
So I wanted to share something with you about memory, okay? Because when we go through sadness, depression, and everything else, then we tend to forget things more often than we remember stuff, right? So getting rid of the garbage, you know, helps bring in better, happier stuff. That's why there's a joy to that feeling of that number. Because it's like, get rid of that garbage and have a little fun with your life. You're going to remember it. You remember something more often when there's fun involved with it than you do. So it's like in school when a teacher makes it fun to learn, right? You learn that better than you would if it's, you know, a boring class. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So remember that with your life and everything else, if you're going through like a downtrod of depression and that, and you start thinking it's like, oh, I can't remember anything. Oh, I'm getting old. I'm getting depression. You know, I'm dyslexia. I'm something. You know, you start making up things that you could be. You know, and you're not probably. Okay, you're really not. What it is that all that garbage that you put in your head, what doesn't allow you to remember. So make it happy, make some things fun, and then you remember things more often.
Thank you.
For the life of me, I can't remember people's names, just like I didn't know who Kelly was. And I've known Kelly, but I didn't know who Kelly was because it's a name. It's that energy I have to feel, and I have to know that. And it's not because I don't want to remember your guys' names. I just don't.
When I was in high school, I could remember birthdays easier than names.
Absolutely.
If they told me their birthday, I wouldn't forget it. But if they told me their name, I'm not so.
Right. Absolutely. That's because of the numerologies of it. So imagine my birthday is 6/2/1962. I'm 6'2" in height. My last 4 digits, my social security number is 6262.
Wow.
Numbers in my life are crazy, you know?
I like it.
Yes. And I weigh 162 pounds.
I don't think you can fight that.
No, that was junior high. So anyway, so Michelle, I want you to go into your code and then say that number again in your mind or out loud, however you want to do it. Okay.
899-2211-377.
And then center yourself.
It's actually making effervescent thing I felt in my tummy.
Yep.
It's like going away. Does that make sense?
Yep, absolutely, honey. It really does. It really makes sense to me. So this is kind of interesting. So let's take a look a little deeper in that. Is I want you guys to now, you know, your code, you pick the code out. I mean, there's tons of codes. We wanted just to take part of it. But I want you guys to really now look at a fundamental coding for yourself, okay? Now, fundamental coding means that you're going to pick a numbers or a sequence of numbers that really speak to you. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through a little practice thing of picking 3 numbers. Now, you saw that some of these have massive amount of numbers, right? There's some that are really a lot of numbers then. So sometimes the bigger the number means that it's the bigger the problem. It really goes deeper or whatever else, and it usually does. But I want you to kind of stick to 2 number, 2 number, 3 numbers, okay? Sequence of 2, 2, 3, okay? So I want you guys to go into kind of a meditative state, you know, however you want to do it. Close your eyes, just keep your eyes open, however you want to do it. Now, the thing is that we want to add automatic writing to this, okay? So adding automatic writing to this, meaning that we're just going to write the numbers down, okay? Just write. Don't think of it. Take your head out of it. Don't think of the numbers. Just write, okay? Does that make sense? That's what automatic writing is about.
Yes.
Just writing things without even knowing what you're writing. Just write it, okay? Don't even look at it. So the idea is if your eyes are closed or whatever else and you're writing the numbers and that, turn it over until we're ready to talk about it, okay? You guys, because we're going to do this kind of unsightseeing so we can get the natural reaction that we get with it. Does that make sense, everybody?
Yep.
Everybody okay with that? All right. So get in that position, get however you guys get into that kind of mental state and that, and start just letting stuff go and everything else. And then get into your way of doing it, okay? And just write the numbers. Norman, do you have a question?
We're doing 2, 2, 3?
2, 2, 3, yes.
2, 3, okay.
Yep. Unless something else comes up and just makes you want to write more numbers, okay?
Okay.
Then we're going to talk about dissect it and everything else. Does that make sense?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. Go into your mental relaxation. All right. Everybody ready? Nobody looked at it, right? All right. Dora, you ready? Waiting for her text.
She says yes.
Well, thank you. Thank you for telling me what she says. Good for you guys. All right. So Dora's ready. Everybody's ready. Kelly, you're ready?
Yep.
All right. So Kelly, since you're on, you want to tell your numbers, turn it over and tell us your numbers?
Okay. 3, 2, 4, 7, 8, 9, 2. Oh, interesting. I was getting some misinformation on that last one, and when I actually said it out loud, it should have been 8, 9, 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's very interesting numbers. So how does that make you feel when you read it out loud?
Well, it's very interesting feedback. So there's sort of like a part of me, there's sort of like this calm, this sort of, I can't even, that's not even the right word necessarily as far as energy within my body. But then the Lyme in my body is right now. So they're up in arms.
Hmm.
So it's kind of interesting.
So her numbers were 32, 47, 8, 9, 7. Put your finger where you feel that number.
Everyone?
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody. Everybody.
Okay. Can you repeat that number again, please?
Yeah, repeat it.
32, 47, 8, 9, 7.
Okay, right here.
Kelly, what area did you pick on your body?
Same thing. Yeah, my third eye.
Yeah, I had third eye. Who else had third eye? Michelle had third eye. Okay. Norma, you had the head area,
I
right?
have more crown, yeah.
That area. Yep, absolutely. That. Sharon, you had throat, correct?
Mhm.
Teresa, what'd you have? Because all I can see is your nose.
Chin,
Chin.
but probably throat.
Okay, throat area. Joyce,
It's like just below the throat area.
just both in this. Okay, this area right here. That Dora, what area did you have? Okay, throat area. So that's very interesting. Is we have this area right here, right?
Mhm.
So this number tells you is that, Kelly, you're kind of in your head a lot, okay?
Yeah, I know.
Yep. But that's also an area that you're working on, which is really good because that means your code is to work on the head. So the thought process now is that now that you have this code to work on the head net, start going into the codes through the manual and start looking at stuff for the head and what you may need for the head. Okay. You may feel pressure or whatever else that and start letting that go. Okay.
Yep.
That kind of hit home a little bit.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, I like
It's
that.
something I've been really working on, especially is trying to, get out of my head and get more into my body.
Absolutely. Perfect, sweetie. Good job.
Thanks.
Dora, what are your numbers, dear? And somebody can read them out loud if they want to when they see them. I'm just picking on you. 7, 4, 5, 5, 6, 9, 8. Wow. Okay, close your guys' eyes if that's how you do it, but I want you to fill these numbers. I'll say it again. 7, 4, 5, 5, 6, 9, 8. Put your hand where you feel it. So Dora, where do you feel it at? Heart center. Okay. Kelly, where'd you feel it at?
I walked away.
Hmm? Oh, okay. That's all right, hon. Sharon, where'd you feel it at?
Back heart,
Heart center?
the back.
Oh, the back part. Yep. Okay. Yep. Back chakra. Good. Heart chakra. Teresa, where'd you feel it at?
Stomach.
Stomach. Norma.
Stomach.
Good. Joyce.
Oh, my ears.
Your ears. Yep. Listening. Yep. That's a good one. Michelle.
Throat.
Throat. Interesting. So most of us picked from the throat area to the stomach area. Okay. Ears. Now that's interesting because there is a listing part about this, which is very fascinating that Joyce picked this. So there is part of listening to your gut instinct, Dora.
Wow.
So this is that's that part about the heart center and the stomach and that is start actually listening to what it has to say to you and what it's telling you. So that code is very much, because I got it right in the middle here too, heart, in between the heart and stomach area, and that I got in your power center and everything else. That it's really to start really listening to your inner self. Okay. And Joyce picked that out really good with the ears. That yet is you're hearing it, but you're not listening to it. And that's what your code basically is saying right now. She said it makes sense. Good job. Sharon, what's your number, son?
3344287.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat it. Everybody tell me where they feel that at, okay? 3344287. 3344287. Sharon, where are you feeling that, hon?
It's kind of between my root chakra and the second chakra.
Okay.
It's right in that lower area.
Okay. Norma?
I'm feeling it in the throat.
Throat. That's interesting. Teresa?
Heart.
Heart. Joyce?
Stomach.
Stomach. Michelle?
Belly button.
Belly button. Doris says stomach. Kelly, were you there?
Throat. Yep, throat.
Throat.
I couldn't-
Oh.
From here, from the top to the bottom of the midsection, okay? So, would you like me to dissect this, or does anybody else want to jump in this, okay? No. All right, I'll do it. So first and foremost in that, I got lower area myself, okay? I got stomach, but heading down to the belly button, sacral area. So that means your creativity, your sexuality has been kind of thrown off. You're not asking for what you want. You're not getting what you want. So your code is to start asking for what you want. And that's that part of that. Now look that code up in this area here to help bring that back out. So you start getting what you want. Ask for it. This is what I want. If you can't supply me, you move on. I want you to, because of this code is screaming loud to me that I want you to be able to take this like you're going to a store looking for something. You go to Fry's, they don't have what you need, you'll go to another store, okay? I want you to have that mindset as something that if there's things that don't have what you want, don't settle, move on. Does that make sense, honey? That's what that code is hollering at me, is saying that this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
That makes sense, hon?
Yes, thank you.
Yes. Whew. That was a good number, honey. Norma, let's listen.
Norma. 7242998.
Interesting. Was it 7242?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, everybody listen to this one, okay? 7242998. One more time. 7242998. Norma, where are you feeling that, hon?
My throat.
Your
It
throat.
started in my crown, but then went to my throat.
Interesting. Teresa, where'd you feel that?
Throat, and it moved around for a bit too.
Yep. Trying to look for a spot. Yep. Joyce.
Heart.
Heart. Yep. Michelle.
Back of my head. That was weird.
No.
Like
Bendu.
wham.
Yep. It's got the same thing. The Bendu, mouth gut chakra. Absolutely. Sharon.
Bounced around in my head and ended in the third eye.
Yep. Doris's throat. Kelly.
Yep, back of the head.
Huh. So I think by now we all kind of know what we're looking at. So Norma, she's supposed to be channeling, okay? That's basically what it is. And so there's information inside of her that's bouncing around. That's why it's moving. So she's not accepting and creating that situation. She's not speaking it. She's not bringing it out. Now, the back chakras are the mouth of God chakra and the Bendu, which sits back there. And that's where a lot of information comes through, that you open your mouth and let it come through. Okay? Norma's not allowing that. That's what her code is saying, is allow this, allow this, allow this. And that's what it's really saying, is start speaking, honey. Open your mouth and speak, because you have a lot of knowledge in you and you need to start bringing that knowledge out. Okay?
Hey.
Really?
Speechless.
No, I've been told this for so long. I can't figure this out.
Well, hey, now you have a code that tells you that there's something wrong.
Yep.
It's
Just like in Reiki, it's not you. It's what's coming through you. Let that happen.
Absolutely. You just have to open your mouth and let it come, honey.
Okay.
Okay? Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, just saying what you feel. You should know me by now. You know I'll send you some message that just because how I feel, I'm going to send it to you, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I learned that this week. I
Yes.
love it.
Just know it. That's how I am. Okay. That's how you should be. That way it keeps your throat clear. Okay. Being able to speak.
Okay.
Okay. Teresa, what are your numbers, honey?
72, 35, 450.
All right. That was 72, 35, 450, right, hon?
Yes.
The same number, same beginning number as
Me.
yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, so everybody ready? Get ready, because I already know where I feel it at. 72, 35, 450. 72, 35, 450. Sharon, where'd you feel that at?
Heat actually across my heart. Just like,
Yes,
yeah,
that's
exactly.
exactly, absolutely.
Right.
Boom.
Yeah.
Norma, where'd you
Really.
feel it?
I'm feeling it in my throat.
Interesting.
I'm feeling a lot in my throat today. You want me to talk more? I can talk more.
Yes, we
Wrong.
created
Never
a
does
monster.
it.
No, I want you to talk what's in your throat. Get it out. Okay. Anyway, Teresa, where'd you feel it, hon?
It ended up in my heart. It started like third eye, but it sort of walloped to my heart.
Yep. 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 Joyce,
I felt it in the back of my head.
right in the back of the head again. Yep. Michelle.
It was deep in third eye, like way in there.
Yes. Yep. It's interesting. Yeah. Heart chakra. Dora says heart chakra. She felt it in. Kelly.
So I kind of felt it in multiple places. Like actually at first I felt it in the root, and then I felt it kind of go all the way up to my crown, and then like it ended up settling down into my heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's perfect, hon. So, so what do you think that is when you feel it moving up and down, not out? Okay. Like Sharon and I felt it exploding outward, right? That's what Sharon and I felt. Okay. But a lot of you felt like it was moving up and down through the governing vessel. Okay. That's what it basically was doing, was coming up and down through the governing vessel. But Sharon and I felt is that you just want to love. I'm serious. That's,
Yeah.
huh?
Oh, sorry. I was just to say after it found place in my heart, then it exploded out.
Okay.
Like,
You felt that too. Yes. Very good.
Yep.
Honey. Yep. So who wants to just jump in and say, why would Teresa feel like exploding? Her heart exploding.
She's holding it all in.
Okay. Anybody else? Sharon, what do you think? You're one of them that felt it.
I'm finding with the people that I work on is that they're having to keep so much love locked in because of what's going on in the world. And so when you're just not used to it and you just want to let it out. It's
Absolutely.
intense for people.
Well, absolutely. And
Yeah.
nobody here knows what Teresa does. Okay. I do. Okay. That's why I wanted you guys to tell me what you thought. Okay. Because I know what Teresa does. And she can share if she wants. I'm not gonna, that's not me. But share, you want to share, Teresa?
Yeah, I do. I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner. And so I feel like I have to be very contained and very appropriate at all times. And I listen to everybody's darkest everything and try to help them with, medicine appropriate, but yet further into that, further with to help them in their psyche at that moment too. So I feel very, very trapped and very contained, and I don't know how to get out of that. And I'm trying to figure that out.
That's what these codes are for, honey. This is your code to get out. Does that make sense?
Oh,
It's
God, I
your
hope so.
code to start releasing and letting go. So now, after you guys heard what she does that make sense where you felt it at?
Yep.
That she is contained. She is. She has to compartmentalize things and everything else then. And we're watching her doors fly open and going, come on, honey, just let it out. But it's really hard. It's really hard.
Whoa.
Birds.
Guess what? Who is reverberating? Okay, that was really cool. Wow. All right.
Well,
So the interesting part about this is to be able to just separate what she does around those type of people and to walk out of it into a spiritual setting. And that's that part that she's working on. That's what this code is going to be all about, is being able to do that. Does that make sense? And it's interesting is both your numbers, yours and Norma's start with 72, and both of you are in the healthcare field. And you have to compartmentalize things. You have to be careful what you say and how you do things. But you have to remember, when you hang around people that are like-minded, like yourself, switch, change that. You're now a spiritual person and become that part of your life. And this is what that code's going to do, is to step outside of the corporate world. Does that make sense?
hope so.
Oh, honey. I just
Yeah,
want to give you a
yeah.
big hug right now.
Thank you.
Can I say something to Teresa?
Yes.
I learned hypnotherapy like 20 years ago, and we do these visualizations, and I'm seeing you as a helium tank, and every one of these people that come to you could be a balloon that you fill up, and you've given them that much of you, but that's just a piece of you, like a sample. So each one of these people, you give them a helium balloon's worth of whatever good stuff you want to radiate, and you've given them some joy and let them go. Does that make sense? I'm just
Yes.
saying, give it a little bit. Just a little bit. Anyway, I like it.
Thank you. Be helium. That's what she said.
Yeah.
A tank.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I love it. All right. Thank you, honey. So now we're to Joyce. Hi, hon.
Hi.
How's Joyce doing?
Good.
Good. So Joyce, what are your numbers?
7599621.
621. That's interesting. 7599621, right?
Mhm.
All right. So everybody take a breath, close their eyes, and I'll read it out loud. Okay. 75, 99, 621. 75, 99, 621. Interesting. So we'll start up on top of Sharon.
I actually had a hard time feeling that one, but I finally got it a little bit in my solar plexus.
Solar plexus. Okay. Norma?
Root chakra. It was
Root chakra.
burning.
Teresa?
Heart.
Heart? Joyce, where'd you feel yours number at?
Initially it was the ears, but then it went to the heart.
Interesting. Michelle?
I felt it right below the heart, like definitely right below.
Huh.
Anyway,
No, solar plex for Dora. Dora says solar plex. Kelly, where'd you feel it?
The heart area.
Heart area. Interesting. I had a really hard time with that one too. I felt in a couple areas. It was like a swirling in from the diaphragm down, and it, I could not really just pinpoint what it was. But 75, 99, 621. 75, 99, 621. That, I don't know, there's something about that it's indecisive. I'm not really figuring out. It's where you hold your knowledge at, and you become a knowledge keeper, which you keep within your gut instinct, and you're around your heart and everything else, and swirling around. And it's kind of like you're not sharing your true self with anybody. That's what I'm kind of feeling that's what this code is about being able to share your true self with everybody. And you're not doing that right now. You're not getting out there. You're not being seen by what you're supposed to be doing. And so I think and because it's all on the heart down, up above the diaphragm is God, below the diaphragm is man. And there's a lot more energy within the man aspect of physicality of your life versus the higher self. So I think you're having a struggle between God and man, which is spiritual and physical. And I think that's your struggle is that you're not really expressing of who you are yet. Does that kind of make sense, Joyce?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, what talk to me about it.
The struggle between God and man, yes. I mean, the spirituality as far as how do you bring that into everyday life and deal with reality? And, you want everything to be beautiful and kind and loving, and then dealing with the reality of things and how do you do it? And that part really resonates.
Yeah. No, I get that 100%. And that's the biggest clientele that come to me. That's their thing. That's what they talk about, is being able to, deal with the world out there and all the fear and everything else that's going on, but yet keep at a high maintaining vibration and energy. And it's not always easy for us to do that, but is a mindset. And I think that's what your code is trying to tell you is it's a mindset. It's an energy that you can put out there, you have within you, that you're able to do it. And I think by the time you keep saying this code over and over, and it's going to set you into such a mindset that you're able to just be. Does that make sense? Just be you. Okay.
Okay.
You speak from your heart most of the time anyway. I mean, we got to say most of the time. I didn't mean that you speak from your heart. So you shouldn't worry about that in that aspect. Just be you. Okay, does that make sense? Because you are a high vibrational person. Just be it. Okay. Say,
Okay.
Michelle, where'd you fill it at?
I don't remember. I'm sorry. I
Well, it
need
was
the
just
mem-
really interesting is that I saw this energy around you when I was talking about it, and I thought you said it was the heart, below the heart in the
Yeah,
solar.
right below the heart. That's right.
Yeah. So, but I start feeling that again with you. And so I'm wondering, don't take that on. That's why I said that. Don't take it on. It's not yours. Interesting. Does that make more sense, Joyce?
Uh-huh.
Thank you, dear. All right, let's go to Michelle.
Reluctantly. My number is 1313 752.
Oh.
Well, I already felt that. All right, so take a breath, get ready. 13, 13, 752. 13, 13, 752. Sharon, where'd you feel that, hon?
It's between my ears and my eyes.
It's
More, it's kind of settled in the eyes, I think.
in the
Yeah.
eyes. Okay.
Yeah, I know the eyes.
Norma, where'd you feel it, hon?
Third eye.
Okay.
Really?
Interesting. Teresa,
Third eye.
third eye. Nope. Joyce,
I actually felt it like my sinuses.
sinuses. This is
Yeah,
all
it's
making
like-
sense. Michelle,
For me, it was my third eye.
third eye. Yep. And Doris says eye area.
Area.
Kelly,
Mine's completely different. I feel like somebody just punched me in the stomach.
Ooh.
That was my first thing.
Yeah.
so you guys are all, yes. And it's funny, you guys are very so intuitive. I love this. Okay. So first of all, that this is part of your endocrine system. Okay. Starting with not the pineal, but the pituitary. Okay. It's overheated. Okay. Now it's really interesting when the endocrine system gets overheated, like yours is right now. There is an overheating that you're going through, that you're heating up in the inside really deep in the pituitary area, and that it will actually take your stomach and that cannonball hits. Does that make sense? It's just like a grunt. And that's interesting that Kelly picked that up, is that the stomach area, because that's what happens when your endocrine system goes flying off and it goes into the kidneys and the adrenals and the kidneys area and everything else. Then it creates that rush within the stomach of that. So one of the best ways to actually cool this down, is funny that we all kind of picked this whole area, that is there's a breathing technique that to practice that, and it will take away the overheating, which we're all seeing, and this cold for you, especially for this cold. And that is, I think the breathing technique is making an L shape from the pituitary to the top of your crown. Okay. So in your mind, breathe through your third eye and out your crown.
Okay.
And so it goes directly right into your pituitary and out your crown, and keep that recirculating to cool off your pituitary. Okay. And you're going to feel that the stomach, the cannonball starts going away after a while. Does that make sense?
Yes, but when I did that one code that I just pulled out of the air when you showed us all of those,
Mhm.
it literally took that solid thing in my stomach and started to make it dissolve just like a tablet.
Yep. Well,
So,
it's
thank
not
you.
just because your endocrine system is really shot, honey, in a sense. Okay. It's overworked. You know, your adrenals are sitting on top of your kidneys going, help me, help me. Just saying.
When we're still alive, yeah.
Huh? What?
At night, I sleep with a hot cold thing behind my neck. No joke, no matter what time of year it is.
Right.
It's a
I can see
cooling
that.
pad. Thanks.
I can see that.
Well, thank you, people.
Yep. Good, good. Did we do Kelly already? Kelly, did we do you?
Yes.
All right. And we did Dora too, right? We did Dora for your numbers. You guys, your numbers, right? Okay, good, good. So we got everybody, right? Did we miss anybody? No? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, we got 7 here. Perfect. Good. So let's go back to the screen again. Okay. And I want you guys, we'll go down here. See, there's lots of numbers in here, okay? The renal system, female reproductive system, bones, joints disorders, Graves' disease, infectious disease, cancer. Come on, where am I at? Going through this program, it goes so fast or so slow. So, all right. So, right here, healing the meridians. So, I just did a meridian class, last weekend, and I love that class. So, I want you guys to really take a look at healing your meridians, because that is a very, very, very important part of your life to balance out the meridian lines. And if you're going to balance out the meridian lines, I want you to just kind of go through and pick one a day. And that to me is the most important thing, is to be able to pick a meridian line a day and work on that area. Now, also with that is, you're saying the number or whatever else in that, and just looking up and find out the traveling. So where does your liver travel? Where does the gallbladder travel? Now, we had, in the breathing class, we talked a little bit about what if we didn't have a gallbladder, and that's part of your liver meridian also. So remember, that's the yin and yang of it, of your liver. So think about that in every aspect, is that as you're working on yourself, and that if you don't have a gallbladder and everything else, the meridian line is still there and it's infected, but it actually crosses over to the liver. So it gives the liver a yin and yang effect. So the liver works actually a little harder. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yep.
Okay. But I also want you guys to look at, as as you're working on these, and know the wood, know what kind of element that you're working on. Is it fire? Is it wood? Is it water? What elemental that you're working on. And when we want to work on the meridians, and we want to work on what we're dealing with, is we fight water with water. Okay, so if you have something that's going on, you start looking at in your in a water element, such as your kidney meridian or your bladder, which is a water element, and you start looking at and working on that, and you start feeling that and everything else. What's water? You maybe need to go out and swim, or see water, or drink more water, or everything else. We fight that with it. Fire, a fire element like the pericardium, triple warmer, and that. Now, those are the protective casing that goes around your heart, the pericardium and triple warmer. When you start working on those meridians, and they're a fire meridian, and you feel like you feel cold inside, you feel jittery inside, or you feel something that's doesn't feel right with fire, and that maybe you need to put an extra blanket on, or put a jacket on, or take a hot shower or a bath, and that's something with fire, heat, and vice versa. So we always fight something with the element that we're working with. Any questions about that? You guys get that, what I'm saying? Okay.
Yes.
Meridian work is really, really huge. Okay. And anybody that took the class that knows that when you do meridian work, it's like doing a deep tissue massage without the deep tissue. It just works that well. Okay. Also, I want you guys to look at removing unwanted energy and programming. Okay. So this is removal of parasites, worms, and etheric attachments and that. So these are like entity removals, okay? This is the energy. These are codes that help remove entities. You'll notice that there's some really bold ones. Because there's some like the big numbers like the 113, 585, 9623, 4515 assists with removal of psychological programming. This is our archaic thinking, this is our past and things like that. So the big numbers and bold numbers, remember these have things that are really huge energies that you can start changing, but you have to remember that every time you start changing something, there's something has to be put in place. So when you remove something negative, you have to add something positive. Does that make sense? Especially in using these programs that you really can feel and you really know that this program's working, that you take away something that is negative in your life, you have to add it with a positivity. It's like everybody that knows Reiki and that when we remove something, we add love and Reiki to that area. Know that is treat yourself to something nice. Make something happy out of it. And you will actually start feeling it. It does reprogram us and that. And the understanding these numbers, well, because our brain doesn't know the difference, what's actually we tell it and what is happening. So we're telling our brain that this is what's happening with these code numbers. Okay. Any questions about that? Yep. Okay. I can only see Sharon right now, so. Clairvoyance and intuition, okay? So opening the third eye. I love this one because the 8844, the duality numbers and that, opening the third eye in your current life plan. Now, it's interesting is that you have to allow these things. And when you start allowing these things and it says in your current life plan, which is your journey, okay, you start allowing the stuff to happen within your journey and that you're going to be open up to so many more things that this is what I want. This is the idea. This is my current plan. I'm going to tell you, if you start meddling or messing with other people's journeys and that, your journey is going to get put on the backside and you're always going to be working on somebody else's journey versus your own journey. That makes sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely. Healing the soul for self-healing on the soul with this code, quantum healing energies are supplied. This is your soul healing. Now, I'm going to tell you when I've used this in the past, make sure you kind of do a soul retrieval for yourself before you use this because it will feel fragmented. And that's one of the big things I want to share with you is because you don't want to feel fragmented when you start using this code for healing the soul. So the idea is call back all the energies that you have ever let go, that are gone, or anybody has ever taken that. Your words, however you want to describe it, bring back all bits and pieces of yourself. Do this before you do the healing of the soul. So in a sense, do a soul retrieval. And if you feel like there's still missing parts of that, hook up with somebody that can actually help you bring back the rest of your soul or whatever else and do a complete soul retrieval. And then you start doing that whole healing process. Kind of fun, huh? And then it goes in grounding, past lives, relationships. So, it goes into a lot of different things than that. I just want you guys to use caution with this because these are powerful. You guys felt what they are, and you can get an idea how this energy works within you, okay? And you already kind of get this idea that you can feel this energy. When you start feeling it, it starts telling your brain this is how it works. And when your brain starts seeing this and going, oh, and you keep doing it over and over, your brain's going to go, this is what it's supposed to do. But it's like an attunement. These numbers, all these things are like an attunement. Is you're being attuned to that frequency of the numerologies, of the numbers. So your brain already knows. Your body already knows. It's just awakening it and going, oh, that's what this number's for and everything else. So just know that there's an energy that goes behind each and every one of these. Okay? Questions? Who's got questions? Sharon.
Yes, I have a question. So when you're working with a client, are you energy testing these numbers, or how are you using them with a client?
So if somebody specifically wants this work done to them, okay, I actually go through when they say what they want and everything else. I usually send an email prior to asking them what specifics are they wanting to work on with this and everything else, and they will send back. And then I will write the codes on like a piece of paper with what they are in the back here. And I will have them prepared. When they come in, I go through each one of them that they want to work on, because there may be 4 or 5 of them and I kinesio test them. Okay.
Yeah.
And as I kinesio test them, and it's like, well, that one's going to work really good for this person, or that one's not going to work, or whatever else then. And then I intuitively start figuring out what they want. And so they always go home with the number thing. They always go home with it, and they get to play with it and practice with themselves. But yes, I test it and see which one's actually is good for them.
Right.
Now, like some of us, said, well, I can feel it in my throat. Well, now you have to decipher, is this yours or somebody else's?
Right. Hold on, I just have to get my table. My battery's going out. Okay.
Okay.
I'm listening.
So you have to figure out if this is yours or not. And so part of figuring out that this is yours or not, that is closing your eyes and saying, not mine, not mine, not mine 3 times. If it goes away, it's not yours. Okay. So know that when you're saying, well, this is where I feel it. And then you go, it's going to pop in your head. Is this mine or theirs? When that pops in your head and you're questioning, as soon as you question it, you say, not mine. Okay.
Right.
That's point blank. Just, it's not mine.
Right. Yeah, I got that.
Does that all make sense, Sharon?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay, absolutely. Any other questions?
I have a question.
Sharon, you have a question. Surprise.
Okay. So I'm a biofield tuning practitioner.
Mm-hmm.
So what I find interesting about these codes, and what my question is, from your experience working with vibration, because I know that you do with tuning, could you actually could you say the number once you get the number that they're working with, could you actually set up the vibration to work on that number so that while you're tuning? I mean, I think that would just be a brilliant.
It is. There's a frequency that goes with this and the tune. And there is actually, and you can set that up, and I have in the past and that, but it depends on the time. Do you have time to do all this and that? But this is a big thing. You're absolutely correct. When I do my frequency meditations, I add this to the numerology of it, of what I actually want to work with, and tuning it to that number, just what you just said there. So when people come in and I say, well, tonight we're going to work on the throat, or we're going to work on this and everything else, I say the numbers. And nobody really knows what I'm doing when I say that. They just have no clue about it. But yeah, you set the vibration, you set the path. This is not like Reiki or anything else where you have to ask permission for it. This is tone in the energy for whatever you want. Okay. And remember, this is not what you want with your higher self, higher self. Everything's going to come, because they're going to create that vibrational frequency themselves once you start it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Nobody has to know what the numbers and what they mean. Nobody ever has to know it. You just say it. When you guys did these numbers, you didn't know what they mean. You didn't know what they meant. It all came with a feeling and a vibration and a frequency. Every one of them did, right?
Sure. So you could ask the client where they're feeling it, and then start working. I mean, now you're going into a whole nother realm, because you're working with meridians and organs and wherever their chakras, wherever they're feeling the imbalance.
Absolutely, honey. It is. It's quite this is just an added tool to the tons of tool stuff that you already have. It just can add to it. And especially since I work a lot with frequency and vibration, and that just makes it even more. I mean, it amplifies everything.
Sure. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, sweets. Anybody else?
I just wanted
Hi, Michelle, and your tuning
the
forks.
kids to play with. The kids play with these. But you were talking about tuning, and I want you to know that we do a lot of good things consciously, but tuning forks don't require, electricity or anything like our phones do. So I just think they're a great thing to fall back on. These are solfeggio. And you can certainly listen on YouTube to not only nature sounds, but all these sounds.
Right.
But numbers mean a lot to me. So I really appreciate this class. And when I'm frustrated, these are what I use.
You guys should realize right now that there was a frequency when you heard the numbers, there's a tone and a frequency that went with it. It wasn't there. When I repeat it, like the last one was 13, 13, 752. There's a frequency that goes with it because there's a tone that goes with it.
Well, you could feel it like it was a tone.
Absolutely. That's the whole thing. So, I mean, so let's take another one. So we just did 13, 13, 752, 74, 55, 698. There's that frequency and that, where are you feeling it? That's the cool part about that is there is a frequency that goes with it. And you just said it with your tuning forks and that. So now you've got the numerology in that you can say in your head and just feel the tones and the frequencies that go with it. Does that make sense? Good. Any other questions?
Something off a little bit, if I can.
Oh, yeah. You can do
Leah,
it.
okay, Leah had been at that last Reiki share, and she's not able to find where the next one is advertised or where you have it posted. But where do you have that posted for the next Reiki share? Do you?
Yeah, it's on Facebook. I know that. It's on Facebook. I think it's on my website too, honey.
Oh, okay, website. Okay, what's your website?
ReikiRod.com.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Yeah, it's November 7th, same place, same time.
Okay.
Cherokee's coming back.
No, I wish.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love Cherokee. She's awesome.
I think so.
Yep, I think so too. Yeah. Any other questions before we wrap this up? I can't hear you, honey.
This is the reason I usually leave my thing muted so that you don't have to hear the kids and their electronics.
Who is that?
This is Aspen.
Hey, Aspen.
Say hi. Say hi. This is Rod. She's used to Zoom. Thank you very much.
Yep, absolutely. So Kelly, Dora, do you guys have any questions?
I do not. Thank you.
Thank you, dear. Thank you for being here, hon. Dora, do you have any questions? No questions? Okay, good. So are we all set, guys, then with this? You guys got this? You guys ever got the manual? If you don't, email me. Teresa, did you have something?
Manual. You've got the manual that we can download. Do we need that book, that little angel book? Does that tell us more or less, or that little pocket book? The Angel Numbers book by, oh, who is it by?
Oh, no, you don't, Dream Virtue?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't always mean that what it is as an angel number. It has to be intuition and vibration and what it means, okay? And yes, you don't have to have it. I haven't. I use my phone and what is the spiritual meaning of this number, if I can't think of it and it doesn't come to me intuitively, I ask Google, hey Google, what is this? And you can actually pick, go through that way too. It will tell you the spiritual number of two things.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. No, you're welcome, hon. That's what you're here for. So I always ask, and I've been asking every class of that, and I know Teresa's probably sick and tired of hearing me say this because she's been in every class of mine lately. What kind of classes would you like me to teach? What kind of things would you like? I mean, this is off the wall. You guys probably have never heard of this stuff before, some of the stuff that now I mean, I have tons of this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm attuned to 175 different types of energy modalities. I'm tuned to like 7,000 different body modalities. What would you guys like to learn next? Now, Ms. Teresa has said shamanic, anything shamanic, she would jump into. So that would be one of them.
Wow.
How to move up vibration and tap that into music.
Ooh, that's a good one. Write that one down. Yes, because
I know people are doing
I
that.
actually have a friend that she takes energy and implements it and puts it into music. So she did a whole entourage of 80s music for me, and she infused it with energy, and it was amazing. So that'd be a fun one. Yes.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yep. Anything else?
I guess from my end, so I know I'm out of town right now. But you had the Reiki, like the Reiki basic, and so I know that well, I've kind of dabbled with it.
Mhm.
But I do want to get more into the Reiki. So when I get back into town, if you could have one, and in person, ideally, yeah, that would be great for me. And then when I do get back, I'll also be I do want to start meeting with you in person again. So
Aw. I want to see you too,
yeah.
Kelly. It's been a long time.
it has been, yes,
Yep.
but I'm ready. So yeah, I'm in Indiana right now. So, and it's been really nice to be here. But yeah, the snow's gonna be coming soon, so I'll be heading back to Phoenix.
Yay. I'm not yay that I'm just yay that you're going to come
Yeah.
back. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah, I know
Alright.
what you mean.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yes, so Reiki class, I'm actually looking at maybe December for another Reiki class. Are you going to be back by then?
Yeah, yeah, I should be.
All right, because
Yep.
yeah, I'm getting a lot of people. I wasn't going to do another one this year, but I already got like 6 people bugging me to do another one already. So in my master class that's coming up here, I got 1 opening left, and that's it. So I mean, Reiki class has been going really, really fast. So I'm actually thinking of doing a Reiki celebration with shamanic celebration with Reiki. That would be kind of like a fun class to do. Is that we all do a kind of like
Yeah.
a Reiki journey,
Yes.
with shamanic.
Yeah. No, that'd be great.
So yes, if you guys, please, if there's a class or something you guys want to learn or want to do, throw it at me and put it out there for me, because we're going to be doing a cranial sacral class at Carrie's place, but I can't call it cranial sacral. I have to actually call it suture moving or suture adjustment. That is a fun class to actually work with the cranial area in an energy fashion. Because up ledger, since we're not teaching up ledger, cranial sacral is up ledger's word. We're doing suture movement and adjustments, which it is amazing because that really helps with the cranial. And it actually, people that have that set like this a lot and with their set head crooked, and that when you start moving the sutures and everything and the plating, it changes everything. But it also helps with the pineal gland and the pituitary gland. The pineal gland, is what rubs and creates a frequency within us, and it's so much better to actually start adjusting all that, and you think better and you send out a better, higher vibration. And that might be something for you, Teresa, is how to change your vibration and move it up, is when we do that, because that helps evolve that frequency.
Have a date for that yet?
No, I don't, because I got to wait for everybody else to find out. I'm ready to do stuff, but I have to find out what's open, and no, I don't think I have that day open. Well, how about this day, Rod? No, I don't. So yeah, this is the thing I got going on right now, because I used to have thousands of places to do classes at. I'm down to like 3. And it's like, that's crazy. It's like everybody else is not open or closed or anything else too. So
I mean, when I get back, Rod, if you're interested, I'd be open to letting people come to my place for classes.
seriously,
Yeah, seriously.
that would be awesome, Kelly. I'd love that. I really would.
Yeah, I would love it too. Yeah, I mean, that's the place in the first, because I have the space to let people come over for classes. Absolutely.
Yes, that's awesome. Thank you, Kelly.
You're
I'm
welcome.
also looking for like grand homes that can't sell and they will rent a weekend for and just do classes in a huge, beautiful house. I want to do that too. That's mine.
Yeah. Nice.
So, yes. So I love you guys. Thank you very much for everything. You guys are amazing. If there's
Thank you.
anything, let me know. You guys know how to get a hold of me. You guys, just know that you're loved and I'm blessed, and that's an amazing thing, you guys. So I will see you. If you want a recording of this and to listen to it again, let me know because I recorded the whole thing. So we can, you guys, I'll send you the link to where to find it. Okay.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Rob.
thank you.
Love you guys. Talk to you
Thank you.
later.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.